Hey everybody, it's Highly Alchemist, and welcome back to Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie. In the last episode, we completed Clanker's Cavern, and in this episode, we're going to be heading over to our next world, Bubblegloop Swamp. Bubblegloop. 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 Okay, I'll stop, but, you know, I can't seem to help it, because, I mean, the name Bubblegloop Swamp, it just makes me want to make the noise here, doesn't it? I mean, it sounds nice, though, because, like, Bubblegloop Swamp. It's like the name of the world just makes a noise itself. It kind of does, but... Anyway, no door has been opened finally, and so we see a big statue of Gruntilda. She has way too many statues, because she's that much of a narcissist. A new enemy right here in the water is called Chump, which is a kind of a fitting name there, because he kind of is a chump. As long as you go in the water, and if he sees you, then he'll try to bite you, so be careful with him. So anyways, just go to this side here, and first things first, if we go this way, there is a Gruntilda, so let's see more of those disgusting secrets. My fat old sister's favorite sport is loogie flicking? Well, we saw that in the intro, but ew! Although she's dim, she attended St. Dungball's school. Let me guess, her opera singing teacher is a certain shit monster. You won't believe that Gruntilda's party trick is blowing balloons up with her butt? Ew! Gross! Oh, God! Ugh! Oh! Ugh! Do we really need to know about this? Well, I mean, technically, yes, we do, because of a certain endgame event, so we're gonna have to learn about those, and, you know, it is inevitable. Yeah, God help me, we have to learn those secrets, any more of those personal secrets. Like, the more Gruntildas we have to face, the more and more personal about those secrets we learn from them. But goddamn! They're gross! Do we really need to know about them? Again, we have to, but you know, they're called secrets for a reason. It's called secret, which also means keep that shit to yourself. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so here we are in Bubblegloop Swamp, and another gimmick right here. Yeah, you saw me trying to pick up those boots, and I couldn't because can't really use those until we've spoken to Bottles. Speaking of which, and what he's about to teach us are the wading boots. And what we do, we put those on. They can be found in certain areas, so we can't really do that whenever we want to, unlike those other moves, but we find those and then we put those on. Basically, they allow us to travel across any of these dangerous areas that if we try to get into them, then we just take damage from them, and therefore it's completely unsafe to walk across them. But with the wading boots, we can do that safely, though. And so, just like the swamp water, for example, we just try to go into them, and then we get bitten by piranhas. So those, you can just use a wading boots to travel across them, and then we should be pretty safe. Here's the catch, though. We can only do that under a certain time limit, and if you hear a ticking sound while during that theme of those wading boots, then it gets closer to the time in which we actually have to take them off. So you might want to do it as quickly as possible. If you want to cancel them out, then you can just press the B button. Well, pretty much like after you're done using them, you can just get back on safe dry land, or safe area at least, and then you just take them off. And this one little robotic crocodile that I just showed you, that was Croctus, and basically you just shoot an egg at them. Well, I mean, into their mouths, because you're basically feeding them eggs. Because, I mean, there's just quite a lot of gimmicks in which you just feed them eggs, because they're apparently edible. Aside from being used as ammo and whatnot, or at least projectiles. So what you do is that, like, after you, okay, I didn't mean to do that, there's floating in midair. It happens sometimes, like, you just try to jump over the logs, or the stumps. It kind of looks like Banjo-Kazooie floating midair, but no, anyway, so you... What the hell was that? I don't know if it was just my capture card, because, because it kind of sounded like the music just stopped, and then there was a bit of slowdown right there. That's kind of weird. It never happened to me before. That was odd. I hope it doesn't do that again. Anyway, yeah, I keep interrupting myself, because to be fair, things were happening, but, shoot the eggs into the crocodile's mouth, then one will disappear, another, will appear in a different location, and after you, feed those, crocuses? Crocodile? Kinda sound like the word cactus, or just using plural form. I'm just gonna use Crocodile because I'm assuming that it's the plural form of Crocus, but Yeah, after you feed them all the eggs, then you'll be able to order the Jiggy, but they'll appear in certain locations from one to another. And this one right here, if you big bus on the switch, then this Jiggy will appear. That would be right above us, but of course, as all things are inevitable, we actually do have to make an effort to get to it, and just going across this pathway. Which may seem simple at first glance, but, of course, for one thing, it is under a certain time limit, and if you run out of time, then the Jiggy will disappear. Oh, well, Grunty will call you out for not making it in time, and she'll just kind of brag about how she's getting close to winning. She's gonna give me this childhood fear that she was gonna win if we kept failing to get those Jiggies. The last part is pretty tricky because there is a very narrow pathway, and you really want to be careful. That's why I use the flat flip jump to, or at least the hovering ability to get across, just so I can get there faster. Because you have to approach slowly but carefully through that narrow pathway, but at least I got the Jiggy in time. Let it be known, guys, that Bubblegloop Swamp is where you'll be running into some of the most dick-headed Jiggies there is. Because, I mean, like, when I first played this game as a kid, and my first time going through a Bubblegloop Swamp, I had so much trouble getting through some of the Jiggies here. I mean, it can be pretty challenging, but I had such a hard time, and I kept failing a bit, and, I was kind of worried there, because, things can get a little tricky, and, of course, there is this one Jiggy that is probably the most dickish of them all, that involves a certain challenge or a certain minigame, which, we'll get more into the detail a little later. But you're going up against a certain character in which he is an absolute piece of shit, and of course, he gives you, like, if you lose against him, he gives you the worst punishment there ever is, even more so if you're doing the second challenge, but again, more on that a little later. I didn't go over more of those enemies in the in this level. Those red frogs that we encountered earlier, they're called the Flibbits. And, yeah, you can actually easily kill them with the rat-tat-rat, because if you try to forward-roll them, then, they'll just be, just damaged a little. And what we just killed were the stronger variants, basically some sort of, enemy wave, in which we just had to, kill them all to get a Jiggy. Yeah, like you, just, saw me right there, I would recommend, using the gold feathers for this, because, I mean, I've actually tried, using it the normal way, just by using a rat-tat-rat, but they're a little stronger. And they can actually come after you pretty easily. They're pretty fast, and you do get hurt a lot if you're not careful. And it could be pretty easy to do. So, yeah, using the gold feathers is very much recommended, just to easily cheese the kind of enemy waves. Oh, I'm so sorry, Grunty. I'm so sorry. Or, you know what? I'm not sorry, because I just destroyed your most precious pointy part of the witch hat on your statue. Yeah, how does it feel? You know, I'm basically just damaging your property right there. But now that one actually will right there lead to a Jiggy that should be inside this. That is actually inside the statue that we saw before. Question is though, how do we get to it exactly? And yeah, I probably tried something a little, well, not too smart here, because I actually wanted to see if I could just shoot the egg over from that part, but it's actually best to just go over to the platform itself where the Croctus is. Another reason being is that there is a Mumbo token right there, and you want to make sure you pick that up. Speaking of which, there is Mumbo does appear in this game. He has appeared in this game. What are you talking about, dumbass? I mean, in this level, actually. He actually does appear in this level. So, yeah. Kind of been a while, well, not since Mumbo's Mountain. Wow. Yeah, I'd say it's about time. Anyways, you know, considering that we're in a swamp, I would go ahead and make a Shrek joke here and there, but I think at this point, I think everybody else has beaten me to it. I could sing the All-Star song, but you know, I'm not going to. I bet none of you ever want to hear my mediocre singing. Ugh, that sure is a frightening crocodile head statue. And yeah, like I was saying, I was talking about that one certain challenge. That's actually where you'll be taking that challenge, but we can't really do it as regular Banjo and Kazooie, because it does involve some sort of transformation that we'll have to do. And of course, this very last Croctus is actually right behind, well, that turtle that we just saw, which means that we'll have to, well, we basically have to just go into this area and then have to go back a little later. And these right here are supposed to be the, they're actually supposed to be the cattails, but they're kind of just standing upright, and they're very weird looking, I should say. I mean, cattails usually should look a little bent, but it's kind of weird just seeing them standing upright. Because when I first played this game, I thought they, like, back when I was a kid, I used to think they're kind of like matchsticks. I mean, they look like giant matchsticks. But they're actually just cattails, but they were kind of weird looking. Alright, how are we on time? About, oh yeah, we're getting pretty close to the end. And so, we have this star right here. Apparently his feet are so numb and cold. That doesn't sound very good. Of course, we're gonna be doing that in the next video because, after this Crocus right here, this one's a little tricky because he opens and closes his mouth at a pretty fast pace. And just shakes in the mouth, or I mean, into his mouth here. And there's a Jiggy. Yeah, because this is where I would get the 5th Jiggy right here, and this is where I would just go in and end this video. So, anyways, with that said, next on Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie, we are going to, I guess, go ahead and try to do something about the turtle's numb feet. So, until next time, see you guys later.